Hi everyone, this is Ramanuj here from 𝗺𝗵𝗶. Thank you for joining. Let's get started. So I'm logging in from Ukraine today in Mykolaiv, in a city in Ukraine, southern Ukraine. And I really appreciate you guys are making time to join in. Right now it's 5:30 here where I am. And I know it's a holiday today in India and it's 9 p.m. So if you are making time for this, I really appreciate it. It shows your commitment to your career, to learning, and to your success as a lawyer. So thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to talk about really interesting things. I'm going to open today's presentation. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I see there are only few attendees, but I would really appreciate if you introduce yourselves in the chat. Tell me who you are. To introduce myself, I'm Ramanuj Mukherjee. I graduated out of NUJS in 2011, and I worked in a law firm briefly for a year at Trilegal, and then I started 𝗺𝗿𝗵𝗆, my own startup. And for the last 10 years, I have been working on my own startups. I am the CEO of 𝗺𝗵𝗶. Some of you may have come across 𝗺𝗿𝗵𝗆's blog. I don't know. So, you know, and super lawyer, perhaps some of the things I started. So I have been really excited about the opportunities that right now exist for lawyers in technology law domain, right? So technology law is not really mainstream, so to speak, right now. It is like considered extremely niche, right? So but that is not the case really. It's not really have to be a very niche thing as such, honestly, because there are I mean, it's going to be really it's because in my opinion, it has already become mainstream, and it's going to be really massive going forward, right? So those who are watching this on YouTube, please introduce yourselves. Tell me who you are. What do you do? Introduce yourselves. Okay. So all right. So I'm going to open today's presentation and get started. So 10 opportunities you'll miss if you do not learn technology law. Technology law is an emerging niche for lawyers with lots of unprecedented opportunities. Okay, so it's really an unexplored area. Like, people do not fully understand the potential of this. Most lawyers are not aware of the potentials or what it can do for their career. Tech industry is growing faster than ever. How many of you realize that technology industry is the fastest growing industry in the world right now? And it's not just now, it would be like this for many years to come. Do you agree? How many of you think that technology has bright future, that whatever has happened because of technology, a lot more is going to happen? How many of you think that? Anyone? Why is everyone quiet? Dileshwar, Kumkum, Mubashir, Preeti, Suhasini, speak up in the chat. Tell me in the chat. So what do you think? What are your thoughts about the future of the tech industry? Do you think it's going to grow? Hi, Suhasini. Do you think it has a lot of scope for growth in the future, or do you think all the growth has already happened and not much is going to happen in the future? What do you think? Do you think all the growth has already happened? There is not much more growth to happen in the future? Preeti is saying yes. All the growth has already happened. Whatever growth has happened is nothing in front of the growth that is going to come now. Okay. So many subdomains of technology are developing into multi-billion-dollar giant industries. Earlier, we used to say technology industry. Now, technology is not even one industry. There are like each industry within technology is huge. For example, drones are becoming a huge billion-dollar industry. Artificial intelligence, Bitcoin, and forget Bitcoin, crypto coin and blockchain, and like there's so many, like Internet of Things, digital media, agriculture technology, like there's so many, space technology, like There are just like anything you can imagine, AR and VR, right? Virtual reality, everything is becoming a massive industry. Telemedicine, there are hundreds of industries. You imagine anything and there's a massive industry getting born there, right? And the scope of growth is just incredible, right? So if there is one area of law practice that has massive demand and very low supply of talented lawyers, an unparalleled upside in the near future, then it is tech law. Why do I say? So demand is clear because the industry is growing like this. There is a demand for lawyers. But why is the supply low? What do you think? Do you think your friends, the people you know, they are all really, really very excited about studying technology law? Do you think that is the case? What do you see around you? I am not in the middle of you. So you guys are lawyers, law students. Do you see that people are really excited, or they understand this, that technology is going to be huge? Do they really appreciate this? Do they understand this? What do you think? What do you think? Are your friends excited about studying technology law? Do they want to be technology lawyer? People want to be criminal lawyer. People want to be merger and acquisition lawyer, M&A and capital markets. But do you hear people saying that I want to be a tech lawyer? People say I want to be an IP lawyer also. But do you hear people saying that I want to be a technology lawyer? I don't hear this. People don't understand the potential of technology law. So what do you think? Okay, you are interested in technology law, but what about your friends, your classmates, your batchmates, your people who are other lawyers, other advocates in the court? Are they excited about technology law as an opportunity, as a career? Right? They're not. Why are they not? Because they don't understand what it is. They don't know anything about it. They are not thinking about it. In fact, time has come for super specializations within tech law to emerge. Very soon you will see that there are lawyers and law firms which are specializing even within technology law. Someone is specializing in fintech. Somebody is going to specialize in space technology. Somebody is going to specialize in Internet of Things, and it will be a natural course of action because all these are huge industries and people will focus. It makes business sense to focus on such big, huge, growing industries. Okay, specialization is the way to go. Okay, so think of a stock that is, I want to give you an analogy, right? Think of a stock that is not properly understood or valued by the market yet, but it is going to grow tremendously in the future. You know what I'm saying, right? Think of a stock that is not properly understood or valued by the market yet, but it is going to grow tremendously in the future. For instance, Tesla, right? The price of this stock, you guys know about Tesla as a company, right? Tesla, Elon Musk company, right? So the price of this stock multiplied in 2020. That is why, suddenly Elon Musk became very rich and the world's richest person. So it multiplied in 2020 and many people became millionaires overnight, provided they had anticipated the future value of this stock while rest of the people doubted it, right? So why did some people become millionaires? Because they had bought Tesla stocks earlier when the price was low, when there were risks, when there were problems. But they held on to the stock. They had a knowledge that, okay, this is a good stock. If I hold on to this in the future, this will grow. And that happened. Tesla succeeded and they became very rich, all those people. If you invested $1,000 in Apple stock on 1st of January 1990, then in 2020, your stocks will be worth almost $5 million. How much? You just imagine, right? You invest just $1,000 and you will end up with $5 million after 20 years, right? Why did this happen? Then why did not more people buy the Apple stock on 1st of January 1990? Why didn't you buy, or your parents or somebody, why didn't all those people buy Apple stock in 1990, 1st of January? What do you think? What is the reason? Right? it is hard to know what stock will grow like that, right? Nobody could predict that Apple will become such a successful company on 1st January of 1990, right? So, but if you can predict, then it will be really good, right? You want to predict what is not popular today, but will become very popular later on. Sure, Alibaba and all other successful technology companies, Google, Facebook, anything. When Facebook, you know, maybe you guys, do you remember when Facebook did an IPO? Do you remember, you know, it was all over news, right? When Facebook did its IPO, everyone said that Facebook stock price is too high when it did IPO. It's too expensive. Everyone, then people wrote in newspapers that Facebook has done its IPO, but it is too expensive. Do you know what happened? From the time it did IPO, it has grown 100 times from that time to now. Okay. So it was not expensive, right? People who bought it at that time, they became very successful. They made a lot of money. So what if you could choose? I mean, obviously, maybe you don't want to be a stock investor, but I'm saying that can you apply this principle? That can you identify golden opportunities that other people are not, they are underestimating, they are not valuing it properly. But you can see that there is great opportunity and take it when other people are not yet competing for it, right? So will that be good? Do you understand the principle I'm talking about? Suhasini, Preeti, Dileshwar, do you understand what principle I'm talking about? What am I talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Can you apply this same stock picking principle, which makes people rich, to your own career? Even that will make you rich. You don't have to pick a stock. Picking a stock like this is very difficult. Otherwise, everybody will be billionaires, right? But it is possible to do exactly this with your career. It is much easier than picking the right stock. It shocks me that more people do not choose their career in this manner, right? Don't you think that everybody should be choosing their career in this manner, that let me find something which has very high demand but low supply. People do not fully appreciate it yet, but later on it will become really big deal. So let me do that. Does that make sense to you? Right? People don't do that. Rather, you know, most people do this in stock market also. What they do is that, oh, everyone is buying Apple, let me also buy Apple. By that time, the stock is already too expensive. So people run after what already is working, and people do not do things early enough. You have to, if there is an opportunity, you have to opt for that opportunity early, not after already everyone is running after it. Then you will not get the benefit. Today, if you buy Apple stocks, you may not get the benefit. This is a principle I applied to pick law as a career over everything else back in 2005. In 2005, when I was graduating from class 12, I was finishing my board's exam. I decided that I want to study law. Why? Because I realized that time very few people were opting for law, right? Good students did not opt for law. They used to opt for other engineering, medical, JEE. But law, who started? You know, my father cried when I said I will study law. My teachers thought that I have become lazy or something is wrong with me that I want to study law. Okay. But the experience is not like that now, right? Now people are encouraging, okay, go study law. What has changed? The image of law as a career has changed. But because of that, now there is huge competition for all this CLAT and everything. When I was giving this exam, right, the competition wasn't this much. The competition was very low, right? The year I gave the law entrance, I think some 14,000 or 30,000, something like that. 14,000 people are giving exam. How many people gave CLAT last year? How many people gave CLAT last year? Somebody can tell me in over here. Okay, I think at least some 30,000 people. I think almost 1 lakh or 70,000-80,000 people were giving the exam. Okay, just 1 minute. I need to plug to the power cord once again, guys. Sorry for the interruption. I just realized I'm running out of power. Okay. So where was I? So, you know, but when I picked, I realized that right now 1 lakh people gave CLAT, right? So when I was giving, imagine the competition was 10 times less or 5 times less. I don't know exactly the number, but 5 times less. Now the competition has increased by 5 times more. Actually, even then, when all those, whatever, even if 20,000 people, 30,000 people were giving the exam, most of those people were not preparing seriously. They were just giving the exam. Okay, ये भी exam दे देते हैं. Let me give this exam also. But they were not really preparing for those exams. Okay. So if you seriously prepared, you will definitely get in. If you prepare for 1 year, you will definitely get in. But now things have changed, right? Now it is not so easy. Right now, tens of thousands of people are studying for CLAT for 2 years, 3 years, studying very hard. So the level of competition has changed, right? Now it is harder to get into. So you realize that as people realize that, oh, this is a good option, then many people start opting for that, and slowly it becomes highly competitive, right? Supply increases and it does not remain such a good thing. Same thing happened in engineering at one point, right? What if you could find a career option, right, that is not properly valued by your competition? Your competition has not realized that, oh, this is going to be a big thing in the future. They are thinking, they don't realize anyway, people don't think like this. They are not trying to find an opportunity that will be very big in the future, but right now there is no competition, right? And you can position yourself for success while others do not yet realize what it means, right? You realize, right? If you start something ahead of time, then when the time comes, you will be successful, and people who will try to do it last moment won't succeed. As simple as that. Tech law is that underappreciated stock of the career, legal careers. Okay, you could buy into it now and benefit from the upside later. Okay, so what I'm saying basically is that right now people have not realized how big tech law is going to become. Okay, 10 years later, everyone will be scrambling to become a tech lawyer. Then suddenly all lawyers, law students will be right, yes, study technology law. There will be hundreds of courses on technology law in every college. At the time of admission, they'll tell students that, you want to be a technology lawyer, join our college. But that will not be the best time to start studying technology law. The best time to study technology law is now. Okay. And the opportunities that will come in the next few years, you will be able to grab those if you start preparing now, right? It is quite obvious by every information available today that tech law will create unprecedented opportunities. Okay. Yet, do you find people excited to pursue tech law as a career right now? Do you find this? Do you think by all the information available today in the world, it is clear that technology law as a career is going to be very big? Yes or no? Do you have any doubts? If you have doubts, if you think that it is going to be very big, write big in the chat. And if you think that no, it's not going to be big, write no in the chat. I want to know what you think. Right? Those people who are watching this on YouTube, you also tell me, do you think by whatever information available, right, in the world, what you read in newspaper, what you can see happening around you, do you think law is going to be huge, or do you think it's not actually a big deal? Right? It's going to be huge. You can't even imagine how big it is going to be. But are people reacting like that? Are people jumping onto that opportunity? Absolutely not. Because most people are running after the same things that their seniors did, and they're listening to the advice of their uncle who has no idea about what is the next big thing. They're like, हाँ जाके CS कर लो बेटा, right? As if that is the biggest thing that people can do. I'm not saying doing CS is a bad idea, but imagine, do you want to do what everybody is running after, or do you want to do something that other people have not yet realized the value of it? Right? Many people know about it, but they are not taking any actions about it. So I'm saying you need to take action. So I'm going to tell you 10 compelling opportunities that will not arise in the future, but already exist. But people are not taking those opportunities. 10 opportunities which already exist, right? They have already arisen. And if you don't study technology law, you're going to miss out on these opportunities. Okay? Very big opportunities. And when I tell them, you'll realize why they are so big. You'll be like, yes, this is obvious. You'll agree with me, right? Today, I did not even pull out any data, anything, but you will know. I will ask you for data. right? So, one, e-commerce boom. Do you have any doubt about what e-commerce boom is happening in the world today? What happened with e-commerce? Tell me. Was there an e-commerce boom in the world? What happened? What is the e-commerce boom happening right now? Exponential growth is happening in e-commerce, right? Because so much business which was happening physically have been forced to shift online during the pandemic. And also a lot of people who did not ever buy anything online. How many people how many of you have such people in your family who never bought anything online, right? Even grandparents who never bought anything online. During the lockdown, they started buying online. Now they are habituated to buying things online. Now they are buying things from online portals. Yes, no? Has this happened or not? Do you know such people yourself? Suddenly, businesses which never wanted to go online, they were forced to come online. The growth of e-commerce has been phenomenal, right? Now, what work opportunities getting created for lawyers because of this e-commerce boom? Can you give me examples? What work got created for lawyers because of e-commerce boom? E-commerce related agreements. There are a lot of regulations in e-commerce. There is investment happening in e-commerce, right? Vendor agreements, logistics agreements. There is massive amount of work happening in e-commerce. Okay. And I have done, a registration of trademark. There is another very big thing that happened because of the e-commerce boom. For the longest time in India, the businesses were like shadow businesses. Nobody wanted to pay tax. So everyone was dealing in cash, right? All the physical businesses, they were dealing in cash because they wanted to avoid any kind of, taxes. And they were trying to operate under the radar of government. Yes, no? Do you know this is true or not? Tell me in the chat. Have you seen this happening? Right? Very true. And most of Indian businesses were like this. Very few businesses were, properly working in the white economy, not dealing in cash, declaring real income. Very few. Very big businesses and only few. But now what happened is that because people are forced to become e-commerce driven and they are forced to do things online, they are being forced to accept online payments and so on. Suddenly, all these businesses have become formal, right? They cannot operate informally. They cannot operate under the radar. It's not possible anymore, right? If you want to have an online store, you have to register your trademark. Yes or no? Can you operate online without registering your trademark? You have to register a company. You have to register for GST if you're online. Yes or no? You know this, right? If you are an online business, doesn't matter how small you are, you have to register with GST. You know this, right? Yes, no, maybe. So suddenly, things are becoming transparent. Businesses are becoming formal. Earlier, businesses were informal. So they never hired any lawyer. They did not register a company. They did not register their trademark. They did not have any IP. Nothing, right? No compliances. They did not have to do any compliances. Suddenly, all of these companies are coming into. How many of you know that there are local stalls, there are local businesses who are doing big turnover, doing crores of turnover in a year, or doing even 1 lakh, 2 lakh of business every day, but they will do all the business in cash and hide their actual income. All of that has started. I mean, many people, because they have to do online. Imagine, even if they're taking order on WhatsApp, right? Then there is a track record. Basically, there's a it can be tracked by government later on. Government can find out. There are ways for government to find out that you have been doing transactions and your orders have come on WhatsApp. Basically, there's a digital footprint of everything. E-commerce is a game changer for India, for tax collection, for formalization of businesses. So for lawyers, accountants, company secretaries, it's a very good news, this e-commerce boom. But e-commerce has its own challenges, like special kind of contract, special kind of regulation, all of that. Most lawyers in India don't know what and how of. They don't know anything about it. Okay, that is one big reason. The first one that I want to tell you about. What about digital media? Have you noticed what kind of phenomenal rise digital media had? Have you noticed the kind of content consumption that has increased on digital media? Okay, how many of you realize? Can you tell me what are your favorite digital media companies? Earlier, all the media that was there, traditional media, TV, newspaper, the consumption of that has gone down or not, but massively the consumption of digital media has increased. Do you agree? Yes, no, maybe in the chat. Tell me. What do you guys think? The adoption and consumption of digital media has increased or not? Yes, no, maybe. Quick. It has. How much has it increased? Has it increased only a little bit or massively? Right? Massively. Now, the rise of digital media has also created new kind of legal work. Do you guys know what kind of legal work is getting created for lawyers because of rise of digital media? What kind of work is increasing for lawyers? One, the digital media companies have to do their compliances. Again, contracts, compliances, and a lot of compliances are there, right? Whenever companies grow, they have not only technology law related compliances, not only sector specific compliance, but they have to suddenly comply with every law, tax laws, labor laws, every law, environmental law, everything, right? So rise of digital media is another very, very big thing that is happening. And there are so many contracts being signed, advertising contracts, marketing contracts, content creation is happening. Imagine the number of production, the number of movies and series production of has gone up like anything after Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of these have come into the market. The production of movies and all kind of series have gone up like anything compared to before, right? And each of those are huge projects involving a lot of people, so many people's contracts, employment contracts, freelancer contracts, content creation contracts. There's huge number of things, right? So rise of digital media is creating a lot of work for lawyers as well. Global rise of Indian tech startups. This is another phenomenon that is happening, opportunity that has come up right now, that Indian tech startups, product startups have really started growing. Earlier, the first generation of tech companies out of India were companies like Infosys, TCS, and then Mindtree. These are what? BPO companies and services companies. We're providing services, right, to foreign companies. But something happened. Now we have actual tech companies out of India who are selling software out of India to other countries. For example, Freshworks, Zoho, and many others, like, so many software companies in India, people who are first selling software to India and they start selling software outside India also. And very powerful companies which are becoming billion-dollar companies out of India. This never happened before. For the first time, India is growing indigenous companies which are growing like this. Have you guys noticed some Indian software companies which are becoming really big? Indian technology companies that are becoming really big. For example, Byju's, right? Byju's is expanding into other countries in USA, right? Unicorns have increased in recent times. But do you realize that there is a global rise of Indian companies? Indian tech companies are becoming big globally, not just in India, right? Right now, it is an initial trend, but it will keep happening more and more, right? Especially after the pandemic. Every Indian company realized that we need to start operating abroad as well. It is very important. Just operating within India is not a good idea. TCS, yes, TCS is an old company that way, but I'm talking about tech startups. So many Indian startups have started operating in other countries. Do you know Ola operates in Dubai and in London also. Yeah, correct. Swiggy, sure. Snapdeal, I'm not aware of how much it is present in other countries. But yes, Indian startups are now operating in many countries, selling their products outside India as well, right? Selling software outside India as well. This had never happened before, right? So what opportunity does this create for Indian technology lawyers? Global rise of Indian tech startups. What opportunity is getting created? Can someone tell me out of this? This is a third train that I'm telling you, very important opportunity. What opportunity gets created for you out of this? See, in our generation, when we were growing up, people wanted to work for Google, for Facebook, for Microsoft. Now, such companies are growing out of India itself, right? Maybe not that big yet, but it is a matter of time. Indian companies are also becoming unicorns, right? So very soon you will see that there are Indian companies which are having global dominance. And imagine you are contributing such companies as a lawyer. This kind of opportunity never existed in India, right? So you can become the global legal head of such a company. This was not there before in India, right? Such opportunities was never there. Indian companies were not reaching this scale ever before. So when such companies are growing, you can grow with those companies. Another unprecedented opportunity that never existed before, opportunity to work remotely with US startups and benefit from global talent arbitrage. Okay, do you understand what I'm talking about? Sitting here in India today, you can do internships, you can get jobs with US startups and benefit from global talent arbitrage, because in their country, if they have to hire someone, they have to pay much more. But if they hire someone from India, they have to pay much less, because the salaries are much lower in India. And they are ready to pay more than what Indian companies pay. Okay. And this is also a big opportunity. So and technology law is something, because these are technology startups. And yesterday I did a whole 1.5 hour webinar explaining how you can get work from US technology startups. You can go and watch it. Okay. And this is something called global talent arbitrage. So basically, since remote work has become commonplace, people are happy to give you remote work. If you can do the work, they don't care whether you are sitting in London or San Francisco or Bangalore or Surat or Nagpur. They don't care, as long as you are able to do the work, right? So if you can do the work and you can prove that you can do the work, you can get the job if it is a remote work job. And you can benefit this way from global talent arbitrage. Another big thing that is happening in the world today is decentralized finance, DeFi, decentralized finance. You should look this up. DAO, DAO, right? It is decentralized automated organization. These things are all built on blockchain. So you heard of the blockchain technology. It's application of blockchain, DeFi and DAO. It's also called trustless organizations. So, people have figured out how to run an entire hedge fund, or how to run an investment fund, or how to run a company entirely without any human interference, without any human involvement. Everything can run on a code. And this is called an autonomous organization, decentralized autonomous organization. For example, Bitcoin runs on its own. Everything happens. Nobody has any control over Bitcoin. Everything happens automatically on a system according to code. No human being can do anything, right? Change, it works the way it is supposed to work. It is called a trustless solution. You don't need to trust anyone. You can trust the system. Trustless, you don't need to trust at all. Okay, it will work the way it is supposed to work. Nobody can do anything about it. And crypto revolution, right? So cryptocurrency revolution is happening. You can see what has happened. The world is changing. There's so much money being made from cryptocurrencies. People are investing in it, building amazing companies with it, right? So blockchain, cryptocurrency, this is a huge opportunity out there today, right? And this is happening. And if you can actually, and these are completely new areas of law, and nobody is clear how to draft these contracts. Nobody knows how to do the compliance for this. People are trying to influence the policy with the government, to trying to advise them how to bring the right policies. Many jurisdictions around the world, for example, Dubai, Singapore, Australia, they're coming up with new laws and new legislations to attract more such companies into their jurisdiction. In India also, people are trying at some point, but now they have given up. Things happened. I mean, in India, as usual, things have gone into a bad space. But then again, there are some rays of hope that it may change. But anyway, Indian companies are building these products like anything, and they are launching in other countries, not in India. That's okay. You could become an expert on laws of these things, law and governance, not just law, it's also governance issue, right? So you can become expert on these things, law and governance of such kind of organizations, even crypto exchanges, right, which function just like stock exchanges online. And you can actually become expert at these things and make a great career in this. This is a industry which is worth hundreds of billions of dollars right now, growing like anything, right? Absolutely insane kind of opportunities exist in this. Another very, very important thing you have to realize is that right now, the genesis of the privacy, genesis, you understand, right? The creation, the beginning of the privacy and data security law practice is happening right now. This is going on right now, massive opportunity. This will be one of the biggest practice areas going forward. Within technology law, it will be one of the primary focus areas for lawyers. Okay, a huge important specialization. So even today, people who are good at privacy and data law, there is a huge demand for them, even from law firms, from organizations everywhere. If you want to get into, if you say, I want to work in companies like Facebook, Google, what should I study? One of the things you could learn is privacy and data security law. Okay. Every tech startup in the world need privacy and data security experts, not just startups, even companies, any technology driven company, they need privacy and data security. Digital media companies, they all need. Okay. Very, very important. GDPR compliance. Now India is coming up with its own personal data protection law, right? So, and it is pending in parliament, but very important. This will be like a critical area, and you are very lucky that you are going to see the entire evolution of it. So, after 1990, when Indian FDI, the entire FDI regime emerged, right? FDI was not welcome in India, but it became welcome after 1990 because we liberalized our economy, right? Now imagine the lawyers who have seen from 1990 the growth of FDI, how the investment environment changed and how it developed. They know everything. They can, you can see all the top M&A lawyers today, they are all like that. They started practicing in 80s, 90s, and today they are the stalwarts of the industry because they have been there from the beginning of that opportunity, right? So when a new practice starts, there is no expert there, right? You become the expert, correct? Now imagine if you try to practice criminal law, there is a big problem because there are already stalwart criminal lawyers. There are hundreds of stalwart criminal lawyers, right? So you being a newcomer, it is very hard for you to make a name for yourself in that market. But when the entire market is starting out, you can start in the beginning, but everyone is a beginner in that. Nobody is a famous expert. Nobody is a stalwart in privacy and data security today. Everybody is a beginner. You are a beginner. So it is an unprecedented opportunity. When you're starting with the entire industry, you're right there from the beginning. Your knowledge, your reputation, it's a blue ocean opportunity. These opportunities are called blue ocean opportunities, unexplored territories. When you are going there, you are the first to start. You are one of the first people to work on this. The opportunities are tremendous, unprecedented opportunities, right? So those of you who are young today, maybe in law school, maybe you are just started your practice, you are getting an unprecedented opportunity that one of the most important practice areas of the future are just starting out, and there are no established players here. You could start now, and you could be one of the most important players in the next 2-3 years. You could become an expert at this. Okay. Rise of IoT and smart cities. Another very, very important thing that is going to happen in our lifetime. It will be like science fiction in before our eyes. We have seen internet, we have seen e-commerce. We yet have not seen Internet of Things. Internet of Things will come along with 5G, right? And already companies have started working with this. People are building appliances, but there will be a time when, you know, I'm in Ukraine. I told you guys, right? So I'm in Ukraine, and here, if I walk into a room, the light switches on automatically. When I'm in the building, and you know, if I get out of my flat and I go near the lift, the light switches on its own. And when I go away from there, light switches off. So there are sensors which are sensing everything, and they are working like that. Now, but this is still a dumb system. It is not a very smart system. It is a smarter than you having to switch on and switch off lights. It is actually using sensors to do this. But that is also a very primitive, dumb technology. It is possible that all our devices will talk to each other, right? And will, you know, basically it's like this, that when you are running out of food from your fridge, let's say you are running out of, I don't know, eggs in the fridge sends an order to Amazon, and the egg comes delivered to your fridge. Okay, somebody comes and delivers. Automatically, all of this can happen because everything, you know, maybe your bed can detect when you are having a heart attack and place a call to the hospital for an ambulance. Okay. And this is going to happen. Your insurance company will know if you have a healthy lifestyle or unhealthy lifestyle based on, you know, based on your all your data that is available. And this is Internet of Things, where everything is connected. The walls of your house are connected to the internet. Each and every device is connected to the internet, and it requires very high speed, and 5G is going to enable that, and continuous, and it is going to make things more efficient. Now, it's not just about your flat, right? It's also about agriculture. Imagine how efficient agriculture can be, right? If there is this kind of communication, right? There are devices. Imagine drones, and this is already happening in Netherlands, for example. Farmers are using drones. Even in Africa, everywhere, people are using drones to spray pesticide, to drive away pests, to monitor the, you know, temperature or humidity, everything, right? So there are amazing things happening out there. I'm going to talk about agri-tech also very soon. And smart cities, right, where the entire city is connected, and you know, many things will be super efficient. How water is used, how everything. And this is a future that is going to happen in the next 5 years, 10 years. It's already started happening in many other places in the world. In China, there are already very smart cities are coming up. But IoT is still not here. But it will happen in the next 10 years. And when this is going to happen, a tremendous amount of legal work is going to get created related to privacy and data security, right? So all of this data, your data, is it secure? What are the terms and conditions on which this data can be used? So every company has to take care of this, right? Every company has to their privacy policies, governance, data governance. If there's a leak of data, it has to be reported, and there's so much work around that, right? Apart from that, you can imagine all the contracts and compliances is going to be very big. Lot of work for lawyers. Another very, very big thing that I'm really excited about, and I'm a little worried about it also now, given all this farmers protest and everything, that will India have a agri-tech revolution or not? Okay, just to give you an idea, Netherlands is the second highest food exporting country in the world. the size of Netherlands is smaller than size of Delhi. Delhi is a state, so smaller than Delhi. The entire country, Netherlands, is smaller than Delhi. And it is highly populated, densely populated country. Okay. A lot of population, very high population density in that country. So it's not like they have a lot of free space. But whatever space they have, using that, they export 3 times more food than all of India. India is a huge country. Forget Delhi, right? India is like 100 times bigger than Delhi. It's a huge country, right? Delhi is a small dot in India. Now, this huge country altogether, we are not able to export as much food. 1/3 we are exporting. We're the 10th highest. And you know why? India is one of the worst countries when it comes to efficiency in agriculture. Okay, we use a lot of water and we waste. It is no country, and even then the farmers are the poorest in India. But it is poor not because of any other reason, but because of extreme inefficiency in agriculture. So we use a lot of land, we burn forests to make more land for agriculture. Then we use a lot of water to do agriculture, which we waste water. Like so many states, there the water table has depleted in the whole region because of this inefficient agriculture. Then they burn stubbles and they pollute the air. Then they inject hormones in our food, right? They inject pesticide hormone chemicals in our food, which is causing cancer in people, causing all sorts of hormonal problems. People are suffering in India in terms of food, in terms of air pollution, and this entire agriculture industry is a mess. It is causing massive problem in India. Okay. Now it requires a technological intervention, because Netherlands, because they're using technology, they have very few manpower. Also, they don't have as many people working there. They don't have as much land. They don't have anything. But using technology, they are very efficiently doing everything, and they are not causing any pollution. They are not, poisoning their food with the chemical, nothing, right? So in India, it is overdue because of laws from colonial times, from times when things were very different, when there was no internet, there was no internet of things, there was nothing, there was no devices, there were no drones. From that time, we are practicing the same. Agriculture has not changed. The way agriculture people used to do. And then last change is agriculture, the green revolution, where tractors were used and fertilizer were used. That's it, right? We have had no progress in farming practices in India. But when agri-tech revolution happens in India, it is overdue. Things will change, and it has to happen because it is an unsustainable situation in India. People are suffering. You don't know what you are eating, whether you can trust the food you are eating, colors and hormones and so many problems with the food that you're eating. Then, the price is high, but the farmers are remaining poor. So many problems, right? So it is a really, really difficult situation, and it can change only when there is agri-tech revolution. Okay. So government made the laws also for that. We don't know if those laws will survive, what will happen. But the future is clear that agri-tech has to come. Right? Otherwise, India, very soon there will be a day when India will be importing all our food and will not buy our own Indian food, because that is the situation, because you can't trust the food you're eating. So building niche law firms for emerging tech problems. This is also going to be a very, very exciting thing for many of you. Many of you will be actually building the law firm. There will be new generation law firms, new generation of law services. It won't be even maybe looking like a law firm. It may look like a startup legal services providing company, right? And all of these things are going to happen more and more. And all these niche law firms, that will be created in the future to cater to all these unique kind of businesses and unique kind of technology, right? So these were the 10 reasons I wanted to share with you why I think there is unprecedented opportunity for all of you to practice technology law, and it will change your life. Like I said, the opportunities are truly unprecedented, right? So What do you have to learn? If you want to learn technology law, what do you have to learn? I'll quickly show you something. We have a course on technology law, where if you want to learn these things and you want to do these things, how are you going to learn? Because this will not be taught in your law college. It will not be, where can you learn these things? Maybe there are a few law firms where you go and work for many years, you might be able to learn. But the alternative option is that we have a course in cyber law, fintech regulation and technology contracts. This is where we teach technology law. This is our 1-year course on technology law. It is co-certified by, you can see on the top here, MEPSC and Skill India. So it is co-certified by Government of India, right? The enrollment closing in 5 days. So you should enroll immediately in this course if you are interested. It is going to be a life-changing opportunity, honestly. The course fee is 36,600 if you enroll. If you want to enroll, I think if you pay in one shot, it is a little less than that. You have to pay 35,000 if you pay in one shot, or you can pay in installments. Then you have to pay 36,600. Okay, and what do you have to learn? I mean, there is a lot of things, right? I want to show you what you can learn. 1 second. Let me take you to the syllabus directly, right? That'll be better. Okay, so introduction to information technology law, right? So this is very important. Then introduction to technology contracts. You learn how to draft technology contracts, right? Critical interests to be protected in technology contracts, such as data management, security, risk management, termination, liquidated damages, all how to draft technology contracts basically. Then there are different specific agreements, website related agreements, app specific agreements, right? API terms of use. API, do you guys know what is an API? Okay, API is a very important, you should Google it and learn what is API. It's a very important concept, which is where two softwares can talk to each other using this API. It's a protocol. Okay, using these two software can talk to each other. Software development, licensing and acquisition, right? E-commerce, law and contracts, right? Other technology contracts, different kind of technology contracts. Platform and intermediary liability, very important, right? Fintech, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the law. And there are a lot of things over here. RBI regulations are there, Payments of Settlement Act are there, for Payment and Settlement Act, right, is there uh, for regulation of fintech, financial technology, right, cryptocurrency, blockchain, ecosystem framework, applications, right, legal issues around artificial intelligence, machine learning, SEBI regulations on algorithmic trading, fintech sandbox, right, GDPR, privacy and data security. We teach you GDPR, which is a European law, but we teach you because it has global relevance, right? Cyber crimes, banking fraud, how to handle these, e-discovery, online reputation management. This is very big. Okay, this is becoming bigger by the day. Electronic contracts and digital signature. So there is a lot. Outsourcing and the law, right? Online gaming, casinos, fantasy sports. We teach all of these things, right? So if any of you actually interested here in learning these kind of things, please tell me in the chat. Do you think you'll be interested in learning these kind of things? What do you guys think? Does this excite you to learn these things, practice in technology law? Yeah, it does. So reach out to us, good Suhasini, and anybody else. Reach out to us. Feel free to let us know. We can give you personal guidance on how you can build a career in this. Right, Dileshwar, feel free to reach out. Let me see, there are a few more slides. Let me run through them quickly. Okay, so there is a webinar tomorrow as well. Let me show you the upcoming webinars and workshops, right? How many of you want to attend a workshop on how to draft a bill application? Would you like to learn that? There is one happening here. Here is the link, by the way. If you want to learn how to draft a bill application, then here I'm going to teach people. There's another workshop where I will teach all of you how to get paralegal work from foreign tech lawyers and how you can earn money by doing this, right? It is very exciting. I'm having this on 31st of January, 6 to 9 p.m., right? Apart from me, I will have 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗃 with me, the senior associate at ЛawSikho with me, right? Make sure you attend this, read this page yourself. It will be exciting. Okay, how many of you are going to attend this? Okay. There is one more webinar I am having. That is tomorrow, right? What kind of work do lawyers do in big tech companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc., right? You may want to know that. So how many of you want to attend this tomorrow? What kind of work do lawyers do in big tech companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, and so on? Who wants to attend this? Any of you interested in attending this? Yes, no, maybe. Nobody? All right, great. So are there any questions you guys have? I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we can wrap up for the day. Oh yeah, how many of you are connected with me on Twitter? If you are not connected with me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. I'll share the link with you. This way you can keep in touch with me. And if you don't have a Twitter Twitter account yet, please create one and follow me on Twitter. It's a great idea. Okay. Abdullah, I have shared link already. So it is a good way to stay in touch with me. If you are following me on Twitter, you can send me direct messages on Twitter, and I keep posting a lot of insights on Twitter, which I'm sure you will find very, very relevant and useful. Which are some of the big Indian tech law firms or practitioners? Sarthak, in India, there are tech law firms. There's Burgeon, there's Ikigai, there is who else? Spice Root. These law firms are well known for their technology law practice. Okay, of course there are big law firms also, but very few. There should be and can be a lot of good specialized technology law firms, but lawyers are not even venturing in that area, which is why there is not enough. But the opportunities are massive. I hope some young lawyers soon create more law firms which cater to technology space, but right now there is not. 𝗫𝗏𝗃 is another, our former student 𝗵𝗏𝗃, she started 𝗫𝗏𝗃. That's also an exclusively technology law firm. Okay, anything else? Anyone else? Leela Rawat, are you a lawyer? Where did you graduate from? I graduated from NUJS in 2011, long back, almost 10 years. I am a lawyer. Is our judiciary broken with so many pending serious cases? Yes, it is a very big problem. And although it's a different discussion, it's a very, very big problem. And I mean, we all need to do our bit to solve these problems. And I think the solution will come when Indians are serious enough that we need a working judiciary and a good judicial system Because primarily the problem is that government does not spend enough on judiciary, right? It is not considered a priority to spend on judiciary. There are not enough judges, not enough courtrooms. There's no priority on improving the judicial system. That is why it is suffering so badly. And it is a big problem. It is a problem for the economy. It is a problem for businesses. It's a problem for everyone. Why will arbitration or ADR systems come handy in tech law? Yes, it will be technology law will be one of the biggest applications of ADR, of negotiation, mediation, arbitration, absolutely. Okay. Are there any other questions I can answer, or we can wrap up? All right. Thank you everyone for making time today and joining me and being here. I really appreciate your time and effort, and have a great rest of your holiday. Enjoy it. And thank you very much for joining me even on a holiday. Take care. Bye-bye.